Today we're making some sunflower home decor for summer. Keep watching. I'm Brandy, and this is Making It My Own DIYs. Welcome back. The next project is a wood bead wreath. So I've got some ribbon here. This I thrifted. It's sort of a greenish blue, and it matches the bottom of the little piece that we have here. And the polka dot ribbon, yellow and white. Beautiful. These are both wired ribbons. Some floral wire. I'm also going to be using some jute. Here's the Dollar Tree wood bead wreath. A lot of people don't know how to use these, so I'm going to give you an idea here. And then I got this little piece here from Temu. Beautiful. Looks like stained glass to me. Look how pretty it looks with that wood. Very complimentary. So there's a hole on the top and there's a hole on the bottom. I'm going to show you two options for yours. You can use a little bit of floral wire, which initially I thought I would use. Preferably a very, very thin piece. This was just entirely too thick. Perhaps I could have painted it, maybe spray painted it, but you know, I'm going to show you an easier option. But if you have wire, a thin wire that you want to use, it's very easy to do. You just fold it in half, and then you'll use that to twist onto the wire part up there and in the center of the bottom. We're going to do it with some jute. So I'm just going to cut a length of jute. I'm going to cut it in half and have two pieces that are a little bit easier to work with. These are about 10 inches a piece. We're going to be trimming a good deal of this off, but I like to start with a little more than I need because it's just easier. If you have a fray in your ribbon, or in your jute rather, go ahead and add a little bit of cool temp glue and twist the end. Now you get a nice point. You can feed it right through those holes. So then I'm going to go under the wreath, and now it is in both pieces, or you know, in that middle piece and then over the wreath. And then I'm going to do the same thing in the bottom. I'm going to feed it up through there and then have it on either side. So now you just pretty much need to find your center where it is pretty much in the middle. This is going to sort of float in between, in the middle of that wreath. It gives it a very pretty look, I think. I'm going to lightly tie it on the bottom, lightly tie it on the top until I get the right position. Then I can do my double knots to make sure nothing moves. And be sure you're holding it still when you tie those knots so that you don't change the position. And that'll help you keep it in the center. So now I'm going to go to the bottom, and you can put that right in between the wooden block pieces. You have enough room that you can kind of slide it around. So tying it there, and then we can trim off all of the excess and turn those knots to the back. Just like so. Easy, easy. Okay. Now, if you want to use a little hot glue to hold those knots in place on the back side, you can certainly do that. And I didn't want mine to move around because it's not, you know, centered between two pieces at the top. It's just sitting on that wire piece. To keep it from moving, I'm just going to add a little hot glue to the side of it. But we're going to cover up that little wire, so no worries. Now the hanger, I'm just going to kind of straddle it over that top so that it hangs in the center. Then I'll use a piece of that to wrap around and disguise that wiring that holds this wreath together. Just going to wrap it around, wrap it around. You could also use the plain wood and just paint it, or you could use it plain, depending on what you want to use in the middle. Now these round pieces do come from Temu. Again, I'm not sponsored. I just enjoy using them. It's a great value for the look that you get. You can use any round piece you want. Okay? So just use your imagination, get the inspiration, and just go crazy with it. So now we're going to cut 6-inch pieces of this beautiful bluish green color. Teal maybe? What do you think? It's got kind of a gray hue to it. And then we're going to cut 6 inches here. And I'm just using this so I don't have to keep referring to the ruler. Easy enough. Cut a little too much off that, so I'm just going to fix it real quick. And then we're going to dovetail, which is folding it over and cutting toward the wire, just at an angle. I really need to sharpen my scissors. They are getting so sad. So sad. They're losing their edge. All right, so we're going to continue along until all of those pieces are beautifully finished with a dovetail. We all know how to dovetail now, don't we? Yes. Okay, so now we have the 4 pieces. We'll put those on the bottom, and then we'll add these on the top. And then I remembered that I have another ribbon that I think will look good with this. So I went and grabbed it. This I got for 90% off last year at Hobby Lobby. With the fall decor, you know. Very pretty. Love it. It's going to add definitely a little more rustic to there. So I've dovetailed those at the same 6 inches, and I'm just going to start layering these back on top. They're all wired ribbons, which really is going to make a nice little topper or a little bottom section for this little wreath we're doing. So we're going to grab it and walk our fingers toward each other in the middle. It's going to look kind of bunched up and silly as you're bunching it up and you're tying it off. But don't worry about that, because you are going to be fixing that. There's so much of a difference that can be made in fluffing a bow. So much. So we've got our little stack piece here, all of our little stacks of ribbons, and then you can just start pulling things around and making them look beautiful. I wanted to use jute in the middle because we're going to use it to tie it down. You can put the bow here, or you can put the bow here. So I decide I'm going to put my bow on the bottom. And actually, you can do it to the side. You can put it wherever you want. And what if you can't find a little metal piece to go in the center? Think about finding maybe an 8-inch little round somewhere, and that's wood, and putting Mod Podging something on top of it and using that, or using a decal on it and using it that way. You could do that. You could totally do that. All right, you can add a dot of glue to hold that in place once you get it fluffed out. And I love that because it has wire, you can see each and every pattern in the ribbon. But then I decided we're going to do a little something different on the top. So I'm going to show you something a little different. I'll cut this off, and this is probably 6 inches as well. We're going to dovetail it, and I'll show you a different option for a bow. Are y'all feeling more confident in your bows these days? How's everybody feeling? All right, so we're going to give the piece underneath an extra inch on each side to make it a little bit bigger. Then we'll dovetail that. You can see already that you can see the different colors right there. The one that is underneath is going to be a little bit bigger than the one next to it. We're going to dovetail that, and then we'll stack it up. When you do it this way, you can see before you start to squish them together each and every pattern. So this is another option for you if you'd rather do it this way. Go right to the center, pinch it all up. Grab that jute, put it on the front, flip it over, and then tie your double knot in the back. And now you have this type of a little bow. And because it has wire, you can flex the ends of it. You can give it that little bit of movement. You don't have to leave your bows just laying flat. Give them some dimension. Give your piece some dimension. It gives your eye something to look at. It keeps people interested. It keeps your brain active. So that's what you want to do, right? You don't want it to just blend in with everything else and disappear. You want it to be something that you can look at and it can bring you some joy. You know I'm all about that joy, y'all. I'm all about the joy. I may not say it as often in my videos as I used to, but it is all about the joy that it brings you, right? Yes. This is a cute little piece. It is not huge. It is small. This would look great anywhere in your home, in my opinion. And what a beautiful little ray of sunshine a sunflower is. And there's a bee on it too, y'all. Got lots of bee videos. I just think that this is a very affordable, pretty little piece with a lot of impact.